Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the podcast. Today I have a special guest in. So we're going to be discussing a lot of important topics today. I'll let Samantha, why don't you introduce yourself for my audience today?
Okay, so like you said, I'm Samantha Wilson II. I am a recent graduate. I model and I have my own business.
Yeah, I think you're, so for today's topic, we're going to be talking about fitness and body images in the fashion industry. And I think with your credentials, I think our discussion will be really nice. Something that everyone can really benefit from.
hmm
So just to get started, I want to ask you why you took um, fashion or why you chose this industry as a career.
I grew up in it. I was immersed in it. My brother's a photographer. He has his own fashion line. My mom's an image consultant and a realtor. So growing up, if my brother needed help with lighting, it's just like, Sam, stay there and let me like take a picture and adjust the lighting. So I was always just immersed in it. And I was like, hey, why not? It seems fun.
Yeah, like I've never, unfortunately, I'm too pretty for cameras, so I I've never actually been in that realm. I did try doing film at one point or directing, but
hmm
not really my thing.
Oh,
So
why?
I just want to talk to you to see if I can get a perspective on a few
Okay.
topics that I have. Um, so when you're going, I know a lot of places for products and everything. There's a lot of companies. A few years ago, Abercrombie and Fitch had that statement that they released about selling
Oh,
products for certain
yes.
people and so on. So I know a lot of companies or clients that would like to take you on for as a client or a model would have certain images and so on. So do you see such nowadays, do you see such requirements out there from people?
I feel like when it comes to modeling, you're helping someone create an image, right? So they kind of have an idea in mind of what they want the image to look like, and you're just kind of helping them. So they might be looking for a certain body or a certain skin color or a certain hair type. Um, I think that's still really relevant, but I do commercial modeling. So it's like any size, any height, any age. So for me, it's less restricting. Sorry, my dog. But if you go into certain types of modeling, like runway, there's 100% an expectation placed on you. But it is changing. It is changing, which is good to see.
Yeah, I do know with uh, a lot of people that would like to buy various clothing and so on, would like to see it their products like that product used on a body type similar
Yeah,
to their own.
sometimes you're yes. It really helps you pick out clothes because you're just like sometimes you see someone and you're just like, that's not gonna look good on me. Or like you're like, oh, it looks so good and you buy it and you're like, I don't look like the model, and it just kind of ruins your self-esteem for that quick moment.
But yeah, there are a lot of products out there that would be slightly different and are slightly more different than what some people would be willing to wear. For example, if you were to have a certain bikini line that would require a model to wear something more revealing or something, people would
hmm
want to buy that, but they would need to see a model wear it first, like we mentioned before.
Yeah.
But it would be something that's a bit more of a daring photo shoot. So how do you deal with requests like that?
So I actually did a runway in a swimsuit, and I also took a lot of swimsuit pictures for the summer last year. And honestly, I liked it because it was out of my comfort zone. Being so vulnerable, I got to learn how to love myself, and I learned to not compare. It was just kind of like, this is my body. It was a statement. It was just like, this is my body and this is what you're getting and this is it. And I kind of like that. It was kind of freeing in a sense. But for some people it does take time to build that confidence or to feel comfortable in themselves, you know?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things out there for like a lot of people don't understand is that the people who are behind the camera require a lot of confidence in what they do, like any
Hmm.
field. So just a brief question I want to ask. How long did it take you to build the confidence, and do you have any tips for people that would want to go into the industry?
Um, okay, tips. Honestly, learn to love yourself. And if there's something about you that you can change, learn to love yourself, but also learn that you can change it and work towards that, but still be happy with the progress. Don't just say that I look like this and I hate this and I want to change this. Be like, I love myself and I understand that there's something that I may not like and I will work towards it. But don't like self hate the whole time. Enjoy the process because once you get there, you want to look back, right? Um, just as hard as it is, try not to compare. Really try to focus on yourself. Um, what was the other thing? So tips.
Yeah, tips and how long did it take you to build up a confidence to do modeling and so on? And how
I'm
did
still
you?
working on it. like I have confidence. I've grown in my confidence, but it's taken me a long time, especially being a Black woman. Sometimes you don't really get to see yourself in these positions that you envision yourself in, but as time changes, I'm starting to see myself more and more in like product placements and all that fun stuff. But you just have to it just took a lot of time, just really reflecting on myself, trying to improve myself. And yeah, I'm still working on it. I'm still working
Yeah,
on it every day.
yeah, like they say, no one's perfect, so everyone has to keep on improving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
At one
progress.
time they thought, yeah, at one time they thought lifting 1,000 pounds is impossible. And yesterday the biggest news that happened is did you watch Game of Thrones?
No, I used to watch it, but I
Yeah.
stopped.
Do you know the Mountain? In it,
No.
the really big guy. Yeah, so he's like he's actually a professional strongman, and yesterday he just broke the world record for deadlift. So he lifted, I believe, it was 1,104 pounds off the ground.
In deadlift for a
Yeah,
deadlift?
deadlift.
Oh my
Five
god,
five
his
hundred one
back.
kilos. Oh,
I don't
if you
know how
watch
he
the
does.
video, he could. He said that he can do another 20 kilos on top of that, but just didn't because he doesn't need to. Yeah, and
I wish.
the guy before him, Eddie Hall, who did 500, and you could see like nosebleeds, had a concussion from the.
Yeah, there's people who they like vomit as they're doing it. I get dizzy doing deadlifts. I don't That's crazy.
Yeah, I definitely I know what they're feeling, but I also don't know what they're feeling at the same time because I used to power lift, but I never done anything even close to that
It's
weight.
intense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, at like the reason why I brought it up is because at one point people thought that lifting even half of that was impossible, and now he just did double of that, and that too easily able to do a lot more. And self improvement, I think, is a huge thing that my audience should take away from.
Yes, self-improvement, enjoy the progress, and learn to love it.
So, yeah, I just want before we get into the next section,
Hmm.
I wanted to put up a just a quick distinction as to what my view is on this topic because I know I
Okay.
did discuss this in a previous podcast and I did get a lot of
Questions about it?
responses. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
responses to it, both negative and positive. I did a episode a while back where I discussed the Chris Evans's transformation, and I don't know if you watch any Bollywood, but there's a movie called Dangal out there where this gentleman named Amir Khan. He went from gaining 60 pounds. He had to play a retired wrestler
Hmm.
who trains his daughters to become an Olympic gold medalist, which is based off of a true story. He gained 60 pounds to look like the retired wrestler and then lost all 60 pounds and got jacked to look like his younger self just to show weight transformation was possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I said a bit where I talked a bit saying that, yeah, him being like that in the movie is definitely good. But a lot of people said that you advocate for people being happy at whatever size. But why are you saying that that's how a person should look? I basically
Like
just want to
he,
say,
like it was good that he gained weight for the role.
or no, how he lost all that weight and
Oh,
came
okay.
out really buff and muscular, because most men don't look like that. I just want to clarify that he's playing an Olympic wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Olympic wrestlers train 6 to 8 hours a day. That's their full-time job, to just work out. And if everyone worked out like that, everyone would look like that. It's just that most of us don't have the time to work out like him. Hence, we don't look like him. I just want to clarify that one point where before we get into the next discussion, so people don't like think I'm only promoting people to look like that. So, like I mentioned, my next question would be, what kind of images do you think present day models or companies provide for people, and what kind, in your experience, or for the companies that you work for and clients that you work for?
What kind of image they want?
Yeah, what kind of images do you think they're promoting to an audience?
Um, for me, I feel like I'm freelance, so for me it's less strict. So when they come to me or I come to them, they kind of already know like what I look like, and they don't really ask me to lose weight or anything. Um, so for me, I don't really have any issues with that, but I know probably if I was asked to do like Brandy Melville, which is a company where it's one size fits all, they would probably ask me to like lose weight or something to like fit in their clothes, or they would just find someone. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any issues with people telling me to look a certain way because I am my own agent. So it's just like they know what they come to me knowing what to expect type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, like I see that quite a bit with I remember there was a story. I'll find the link and I'll put it in, but
Okay.
in the description, but there was a story where there was an actress who was asked to reduce 15 pounds in weight,
Yeah.
but
I
they,
know a lot of actors are asked to do that for roles.
yeah, and there it was a issue where the actress did say, "Oh, they don't like the way I look," and so on. And I had, like, I'm kind of indecisive, like split in the middle between that, because at one side, I believe that she did look amazing the way she was already, but on the other side, when someone's playing a superhero character or something like Henry Cavill, Chris Evans, and so on, Chris Hemsworth had huge transformations to be able
Hmm.
to play a certain role in a movie for the director's image. So, on both sides, what side do you take for that? Or what's your opinion on something like that in terms of promoting a certain image?
I feel like when it comes to the film industry or modeling industry, it's sometimes a fantasy where they're selling a fantasy. So, or something ideal where it's like, I want to look this buff, so I'm going to take this because the guy in the ad looked this buff. You know, it's almost like it worked for him, it will work for me type of thing. Or a superhero. I think it kind of sucks that there isn't a superhero that looks normal, like they all look like jacked or
Yeah.
like unrealistic. I'm kind of on the fence because it's like you think, oh, a superhero, like they should look like that, but also it's like, why do they need to look like that? Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of on the fence, which probably didn't really help answer your
Yeah,
question.
like, yeah, like the reason
Like I
why I'm on the
understand both
fence of that,
sides.
yeah, like the reason why I'm on the fence like that is because I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, I want to look like Superman, and they're gonna try to do the Henry Cavill diet and workout plan and all that, but which might not work for them, so on and
Yeah.
so forth. But at the end of the day, I can't really imagine Superman looking like me carrying backpack on the front, right near his torso. So like like I said, like you said, a lot of people do have an image as to what a superhero does look like. But when people try to achieve exactly that without doing their own research, which is always a risk, uh, it can cause a lot of harm.
I feel like as long as you do it a healthy way, that's what's really most important.
Yeah, definitely consulting a professional would help, like a
Professional,
doctor.
doing some research, not skipping meals, because some people are just like, I want to get really skinny. So they just stop eating, or they just like have a carrot or something. And it's like, you just have to be in a caloric deficit, just do your research, try to be healthy about it, because if you do it the healthier way, it will be easier for you to maintain, and it's better for you in the long run because you actually understand the process now.
Yeah, I actually think your point was really good in terms of like not starving yourself and so on. And it kind of dwells into my next question. Uh, do you know about the Mr. Olympia? Like Arnold was doing a, quick video with his My Blueprint on bodybuilder.com where he said 2 days before the actual competition, they wouldn't drink any water, they wouldn't eat anything just to like get
A lot
the
of,
really
I think
toned.
even wrestlers do that, so they're in that weight class.
Yeah, MMA is my sport, and when I see like these guys train, a lot of them put like garbage bags on them, sit in the sauna, then like
Hmm.
plastic wrap
They try to
themselves, and
dehydrate themselves. Yeah.
with that, like, how do you feel about such modeling platforms like Mr. Olympia and the biggest one I think specific to your industry is Victoria's Secrets when they say, I think I sent you the image, the perfect body in one of their
Oh.
ads. But when they have to go into that photo shoot, like they follow the same thing as Arnold would without like eating properly for a few days, without drinking water, just to like look the best they can before a show.
um I don't, I find it kind of funny, like the picture you sent me about the whole Victoria's Secret thing, because it's like no one looks like that.
Yeah,
And I find it funny because like the media kind of tells us what we should look like instead of, well, now it's kind of changing. I kind of like how it's like we're telling the media like, no, we're not going to look like that. That's not okay. And then from there, they're changing to reflect how we kind of want to look instead of the other way around. Like with Barbie used to always look a certain way, but now because we're just like, no, that's not right. And we're kind of checking them. We're just like, no, that's not right. And they're actually like, oh shoot, okay. Like they have a voice and they're starting to change like the image that they portray. Like um, with Victoria's Secret, I know that now I think they included someone who was transgender and like Winnie who has vertigo or some like a skin condition. Like it's changing, which I find really nice, and I feel like they're slowly starting to listen to us. Um, but it kind of sucks that people are doing it unhealthy. But I feel like if everyone kind of took a stand and was like, no, this is the new standard, then they would have to slowly agree to that, because then they wouldn't really have anyone in their competition who would look like that, because they would all kind of look the same. Does that make sense?
yeah, it does actually quite a bit.
I felt like I was rambling and then I was like, wait, does this make sense?
Yeah,
um, so yeah, I feel like if we kind of keep them in track, then they'll kind of be like, oh shoot, you know, and they'll kind of reflect like a different type of standard.
yeah. Like I'm all for promoting a healthy physique. Because when you do, like, I have to give credit where credit is due. When they do for the Marvel movies, when like Hemsworth, Chris Evans, and everyone did do their workouts, you had the celebrity trainers, release
Yeah.
what kind of workouts they were doing, what kind of diets they were doing, and they were eating properly. Like they were actually consulting professionals. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
if you look, and like I understand that they're trying to send a positive message saying, yeah, if you consult a professional and train properly, you can look like Chris Evans. Obviously, it's going to take effort, but it can happen if you consult a professional and follow a proper diet given by a professional.
Exactly. Yeah.
but like the platform like Victoria's Secrets, where these guys, everyone knows that these guys starve for a day or two, or same thing with bodybuilding, where like a lot of bodybuilders collapse on stage because they haven't eaten in a day or two.
Yes.
There's a huge difference in the way that they're promoting a certain image, in my opinion.
Hmm.
What would your opinion be on something that kind of promotion, though?
Well, obviously, I think it's not good. I don't think anyone should be promoting that, because then people are going to think, if they don't really do their research, that that's the only way to achieve it. Or it also just promotes that, hey, if you want to meet the standard and be in our show, then that's what you have to do, which kind of sucks. And maybe people will take that and then run with it and go to more of an extreme route with that, which kind of sucks. I don't think that's positive.
Yeah, it's a really interesting topic, and like the thing is, it's something I can definitely talk about for hours and hours, because it's something that I was envious of when I was bigger.
Hmm.
But it's all about doing a proper research. And another question is, suppose you were to like, I know this is slightly off topic, but like suppose someone was to ask you for some sort of reduction of weight or something like that, to like they think, oh my god, this person looks exactly like how I want, but like they're slightly a bit more bigger or something. Maybe if they lose weight or gain weight or something like that, to get for that specific role or photo shoot, would the
Hmm.
company themselves help you, or is it something that you have to do on your own?
I don't know, because I've never been in that position.
Yeah.
But I know with some other models that I talk to, they're just, they when they go in, like they literally have a measuring tape waiting, and they like put it around them in front of everyone, and it's kind of like a humiliating thing. And they're like, okay, well, I you can't be casted for this because you didn't lose the weight. I feel like with the modeling industry, what people don't really understand is that um I don't know how to word this, but it's just like they're very hard, like they're very strict, and they know what they want, and they're like, if you don't do it, we'll find someone who will, which really sucks. But I've never been put in that position, and if I was, I think it's all about my morals, and I know that I wouldn't want to lose any more weight. Like I'd be like, okay, cool, like I can work out like I normally work out, but I'm not gonna try to die or do anything negative that can negatively affect my body in order to get it, because nothing's worth that, because that can affect you in the long run, you know.
Yeah, so essentially you're not going to try to pull a
No,
heavyweight boxer trying to cut weight.
no, like as a kid, seeing all these like skinny people, I would be like, okay, maybe I should just eat less. And like, there was a time where I didn't eat that much, and I just kind of realized that's not healthy. Like, it's affecting how I think, and it's affecting how I feel. Or it's like, I'm not eating that much and I still look the same. Like, it's not worth that. You should always have a positive relationship with food and your body. And I didn't have that, and I just kind of realized I don't want to do that, So no, I would not do that ever again.
Yeah,
I love food. I love my
yeah.
body.
Uh, don't worry, I absolutely love food. I'm from Toronto, and there's, uh,
Same.
yeah, and you would probably know down near U of T, there's more restaurants there than there are office spaces,
The
and
amount of food in downtown.
yeah, the name a restaurant, and I've probably eaten there, and I know what to order from there. So, but that's is I'm that kind of person who has that much relationship with food. But my biggest advice is quality, not quantity.
Or
Uh,
moderation, just knowing when to stop, or just balance, and just treat yourself, but not indulge in it. It's
yeah,
about balance.
because if you're eating like the right nutrients and stuff, you won't feel hungry anymore, even though
Hmm.
you're on a calorie deficit. Because I remember when I was doing my diet, I would eat a bit more. I was eating literally almost zero carbs, but higher amounts of fat and protein. But because of such heavy food, even though I was keeping a 50% calorie deficit, I could go a day or two without eating, just because I didn't feel any more hungry because of how heavy my food was. and I was
Hmm.
making sure I had like a cup of spinach, which has 0 calories in it. Like it only has like 10, 15 calories for a big bowl of spinach, and then having like coconut oil, some like chickpeas for the uh, protein and stuff.
Hmm.
That meal would last me for a day.
Yeah, even like when it comes to healthy food, like not all healthy food, but certain foods, you need a lot. You need to eat a lot for it to equal like the same amount of calories as like 26 chips or something like that. So if
Yeah,
you eat like, I don't know, like 50 carrots to equal like that one chip, you're going to be full,
yeah,
you know, and it's probably way healthier for you too.
yeah. And if you're eating the 50 carrots, you can probably like stick to like 35 it, uh,
Yeah. And like
and
your
still
stomach
feel a
will
lot more full
shrink
than
and all
one.
that fun stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just drink water.
yeah. That was the biggest thing that my parents told me when I was growing up. I think that's a big issue now that people have is never say they see a bag of chips. They're like, "Oh, I want to eat it." My
Hmm.
parents would always ask, "Are you eating because you're bored or are you eating because you're hungry?"
Sometimes I would eat because I just want the crunch, the
Yeah.
texture of the food. It's not good. Yeah, you really have to think about it sometimes. You really sometimes just have to sit back and think about your relationship with food.
Yeah, and like the biggest, I don't know if every parent did this, but my parents would basically just ask, "Are you hungry?" I'd be like, "Yeah." They'd be like, "What do you want? What do you have?" If you're asking me if you're hungry based off of what's there, then you're not actually hungry. You're gonna be eating because you're bored.
Yeah, sometimes my mom will be like, I'll tell her I'm hungry, and she's like, "Oh, like we have food in the fridge," and I'm like, "I don't want that," and then she's like, You're not hungry. You're not hungry." Or "Oh, I'm craving sweets." Well, we have mangoes. Like there's always alternatives.
But yeah, I think we got a bit more deviated than from our main
Oh.
topic, but yeah, sorry about that. That's more of my fault. But I just wanted to ask, I know, what are your goals in the industry and so on? I know a lot of people were interested in talking about goals and everything on this podcast, so I just want to ask you for yours.
My goals. Um, right now I'm struggling with trying to do things to the best of my ability. So right now I just want to do everything to like, okay, how do I word this? Sometimes like when I take pictures or something, I'll look at it and I'll be like, this is horrible. Like I just shame myself. And I'm like, this is horrible. Not like myself, but just like the picture as a whole. And I'm like, I can do so much better than this. But it's like you have to realize that you need to grow. Okay, wait, sorry, now I'm deviating. Back to the
No
topic.
worries.
The question was, what are my goals? My goals are to do the best that I can, be proud of myself, um, enjoy the process, and go out of my comfort zone. Because what I've learned with me is with this with myself sometimes is that I need to go out of my comfort zone a little bit in order to grow. Like I'm an introvert, and even doing this is going out of my comfort zone. But just go out of my comfort zone. If I want to do something, don't really think about it, just kind of do it. But my goal is to kind of make a career out of this, build my own brand, me being my brand, and then building my company and making more companies and really helping by giving back, because I really love giving back, because it's like if you're doing good, why not help someone also do good?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the I think we share a common goal with that. You did mention you have a company and other so on, and a few
Yeah.
products. I just wanted to ask, if you wanted to promote any of the products or services that you provide with the company.
So right now I'm creating my own wash line called The Second Co. Hopefully it launches within the next couple of months. So yeah, right now it's a watch company because I really wanted to get into fashion, and I was like, how do I be a part of everyone's daily life? Like I just want to be a part of someone. I want to make someone feel good about themselves. And I was like, a watch. Like I will always like it's something that ties the outfit together. It's something that people wear on the daily. So it's like I'm always there with you. I'm always gonna make you feel good. I just really want people to feel good, and I want it to be really simple. Like with clothing, I will get into that eventually, but sometimes with clothing, people feel like you need to buy everything. But with a watch, you only need like one simple piece, and your outfit's like it's complete, it's done, you know?
Yeah. So let me know when that's up, and I'll promote it as well on here for everyone.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I know I'm not like the biggest channel on YouTube right now. I'm not PewDiePie, but I'll.
Honestly, don't compare yourself because they were all small at one point. They all grew, you know?
Yeah.
It's all about consistency and having fun with it.
Yeah. Well, I had fun today, and I'm pretty sure my audience did as well. So
Hmm.
yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I was like in shock that you messaged me. I was like, oh, someone actually cares about my opinions. It's nice.
Yeah, and I was actually shocked that you responded because
Of course.
I remember I messaged one of my friends and I was like, hey, do you want to come on? He was like, uh, no, man. And your podcast doesn't have too many views. I don't want to go on and spend an hour for nothing. And
No,
so
I feel
like I
like
get brutal responses like that. So I was like, wait, someone actually wants to come on?
that would suck because then when people say yes, you would think, oh, they only want to do it because I'm big now.
Yeah.
That would suck. No, I'm all about communicating my feelings or just helping people out, or why not? It was fun. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah. But so I know like I'm not gonna have too many people coming at you, but if someone does want to reach out to you with any questions or
My
something,
Instagram, if you have any questions or you want me to elaborate on stuff, honestly, sometimes I just get so nervous and I talk and I don't really think sometimes. I don't explain my ideas the way I want to. But yeah, go to my Instagram, and yeah, my Instagram is at Samantha the second. Um, yeah, and we can have a conversation. I respond to my DMs all the time. We can talk. It's gonna be a fun time.
yeah, I'll put the link to your Instagram in the description as well.
Thanks.
But yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and thank you Samantha for this episode. I'll see you guys
Oh.
in the next episode. Check out my website, and now that I'm an official YouTuber, subscribe, click the link below, and all that. Like the video, leave a comment. All right, take care, guys.